Hello everybody and welcome back to another video in which we're looking at the functions on the calculator. In this video, we'll be looking at decimals, square root, cube root, and we'll be raising numbers to certain powers. So let's head straight into it right away. So the first thing we want to look at is the square root. So to get the square root sign, let's say we wanted to find the square root of 100. First of all, we need to input the square root sign. And of course, the square root sign is this sign, which shows a square root. So we press the square root of 100. And to get the answer for this, we press equal. And the answer will be 10. Next thing, let's say we wanted to find the square root of 25. So of course, we press the square root sign and then 25. And that will give us an answer of 5. So that is square root. What about if we wanted to find the square root of 361? So of course, we press the square root sign, 361, and that would give us 19. So to get the square root of any number, we just press the square root sign, the number, and then equal. So what about cube root? What about if we wanted to find the cube root of a number? So to get the cube root of a number, as we can see on the button, we have no cube root function. However, at the top of certain buttons, we have other functions. So to activate those functions at the top of the button, we press the shift function, the shift button. And this is the shift button. On some calculator, the shift button will be marked second function. And the second function gives you the function at the top of the button. So it's either shift or second function, depending on your calculator. So let's say we wanted to find the cube root of 125. So the first thing we do is we press 3, and now we find the cube root function. So we see the cube root function is at the top of this function here, which is an upside down V. So we press 3, second function or shift, and then we press that function, and you should see 3, a little x, and then the square root sign. So this is saying the cube root of whatever number we put in now. So if we want to find the cube root of 125, we press in now the 125, and we press equal. And you see our answer is 5. So now let's say we wanted to find the cube root of 729. So once again, we press the 3, we press the shift, and then we press this function to activate the whatever root we insert in the square root. So we press that, and once again, we see we have 3 and x, and then the square root sign. So that this is saying the cube root of whatever we input here. So the cube root of 729 would give us 9. And that is how we can get the cube root function on the calculator. So now we have square root and cube root in our back pocket. Let's look at how we raise certain numbers to different powers. So let's say I wanted to raise 3 to the second power. So I can press 3. Then I can press this x raised to the second power here. So that is telling you whatever number raised to the power. So if I press that, and that will give you 3 raised to the second power. And if I press equal, I will get 9. So what about if I want to write 3 raised to the third power? So I press 3 again, and then I can go x raised to the third power. And that will give me 3 raised to the third power. I press equal, and that will give me 27. Now what about 3 raised to the fourth power? As you can see, there is no fourth power, x raised to the fourth power. So this is where we use this function here, which shows like an upside down V. So to get 3 raised to the fourth power, I press 3, I press the upside down V, and that is telling me this 3 is raised to a certain power. And now I press the power that I want to raise 3 to, which is 4. This will give me 3 raised to the fourth power, will be 81. So what about if I wanted 5 raised to the ninth power? So first of all, I press 5, I press the function with the upside down V, and now 5 is being raised to a power. Whatever number I put here, that will be the power 5 is being raised to. So I press 9, and I press equal, and that will give me the answer for when 5 is raised to the ninth power, which is 1,953,125. And last but not least, let's say I wanted to raise 2 to the negative 3 power, or the negative third power. So once again, I press the 2, and then I raise the 2 to the negative third power. So I press the function to raise the 2 to the power. Then I press the negative sign, which is this negative in the bracket. and then I press the 3. So this is showing 2 raised to the negative third power. And that will be equal to 0.125. Because this is basically 2 raised to the negative third power will become 1 over 2 raised to the third power, which will become 1 over 2 raised to the third power is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 over 8, when we divide that, we'll get 0.125. So that is how we get 2 raised to the negative third power. And that is how we can get any power, just by simply pressing the number, and then we press the upside down V, and then we put whatever power, and that is how we raise that term or that number to that power. So now let's look at some simple decimal. Let's say I wanted to put in the calculator 0.25 multiplied by 5. So I press 0, and this is a decimal point, 0.25 multiplied by, and I press the multiplication sign by 5. And that would give me 1.25. And that is as easy as that. So let's say I wanted 62.8 divided by 3.2. So I press 62.8 divided by 3.2. And then I press equal, and I will have 19.625. And that is how we can get decimals on the calculator, by pressing this dot here, which will represent the decimal point. And that is how we use the power function, the square root function, the cube root function, and the decimal function. So with that, I'll see you in the next video, in which I'll be looking at another function on the calculator.